video series explaining how to participate in the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, called PURA's, proceedings. I'm Andrew Minikowski, a staff attorney for the Connecticut Office of Consumer Counsel. As we explained in the previous videos, the Office of Consumer Counsel, or OCC, is an independent state agency that represents all Connecticut utility customers in PURA proceedings. PURA proceedings generally involve the 5 regulated utility sectors: electric, gas, water, telephone, and to some extent, cable television. In our last video, we talked about ways to participate in a PURA proceeding. In this video, I'm going to cover how you specifically can participate. Informal participation may look like making comments in a docket. One way to make comments in a docket is to submit verbal comments in a public hearing. All rate cases have public hearings in the local community at places such as local libraries, town halls, or senior centers. Customers are sent notices regarding the time and location of these hearings, or you can find them on PURA's website. At a public hearing, all members of the public are given a set amount of time, usually a couple of minutes, to offer verbal comments. The PURA commissioners are present and will listen to your comments, but because PURA is a quasi-judicial agency, which means PURA's commissioners are similar to judges, the commissioners may not reply to your comments during the hearing. Anyone wishing to make a public comment at a public comment hearing will sign in the location at the beginning of the hearing and will be called to speak in the order of registration. If you would like to comment but would rather not speak in public or are unable to attend a public comment hearing, you may also submit written public comments in any docket by emailing them to PURA's executive secretary. Public comments submitted into the docket do not need to be formal and may express your concerns regarding matters at issue in that docket. If you do not know the correct docket number, you may contact the executive secretary's office at the email indicated on the screen, and they will provide you with the correct docket number. If you prefer more formal participation, the first step is to petition PURA to become a formal participant in a proceeding, also known as a docket. You will need to know the docket number of the proceeding in which you want to participate. If you don't know that, as we discussed in our last video, you can find it by emailing PURA. When you know the number of the docket in which you wish to participate, you will need to file a motion in the docket asking to become a participant. Unlike in a court, a motion does not have a specific format in a PURA proceeding. The motion can be a letter that indicates why you want to join the proceeding, what information or viewpoint you think you can bring to the proceeding that is not already represented, and the name and contact information of the individual or individuals that you want to participate. If you need help with PURA's filing system, we encourage you to watch PURA's video regarding how to make an electronic filing and how to navigate PURA's online docket system. These videos walk you through the process of filing the motion to be a participant in a PURA proceeding. After you file the motion, PURA will rule on it, and you will receive an email notification of the ruling. If PURA grants the motion, you may then begin formally participating in the proceeding. As part of formal participation, you should follow what others are filing in the docket. You can find information about any docket on PURA's website under Search for Docket by Number. Enter your docket number and then click Submit. This will take you to all filings available in the docket online. At the top of the online docket, you will see an entry labeled TS External. TS stands for time schedule. This is the calendar for the docket. After you click on the link, you should be sure to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page and click on the link for the PDF version of the schedule, which will have the most up-to-date and reliable information. You should ensure that you follow due dates listed on the schedule. These due dates will define the dates on which any written comments from participants are due, the dates on which discovery, or the written question asking process, ends, and the dates of any in-person events, such as hearings or technical meetings. There are common ways that participants engage in a proceeding. One way is through interrogatories. These are written questions that you pose to another participant, party, or intervenor who has offered evidence in the proceeding. You cannot pose interrogatories to PURA. The purpose of interrogatories is to bring more information into the docket. For example, in a rate case, the utility files pre-filed testimony and initial rate schedules. Anyone in the docket can ask written questions to the utility regarding its pre-filed testimony and information it has filed. Alternatively, if you have a topic that is important to you that is within the scope of the docket, you could ask questions on that topic. For example, if a utility files a rate case and does not include information about its energy efficiency measures, you could ask them about that topic. You can look in the docket for examples of interrogatories posed by other participants, or you may contact OCC for examples. Interrogatories must be numbered and are generally referred to with the initials of the filer. For example, OCC's interrogatories would be OCC 1, OCC 2, etc. Another common way to participate in a docket is through written comments. In some dockets, PURA will issue a notice of written comments with prompts or topics on which it would like docket participants to offer their thoughts and opinions. Unless PURA directs specific prompts to you or your organization, you may respond to as many or as few of the prompts as you want, focusing on the specific expertise or experience you have to offer to the proceeding. The written comments do not have to be formal, but could be in the form of a letter addressing the topics on which you want to offer information. You may look in a docket to find examples of written comments, or contact OCC for examples. PURA proceedings also have in-person events, and you might be wondering what happens in these. Let's look at PURA's hearing room and see what it will look like during a proceeding. This is the main hearing room in which PURA conducts proceedings. Other hearing rooms will look similar to this one. Whether the proceeding is a technical meeting or a hearing, the commissioners will sit here. If the proceeding is more informal, as some technical meetings are, then the participants may all sit around these tables. If the proceeding is more formal, the participant or member of authority staff conducting the cross-examination will sit here. The participant answering questions will sit here, and if they have an attorney, their attorney will sit here. Participants will take turns moving in and out of these positions at the tables. The cross-examination may be conducted only on participants who have offered evidence in the docket. Although many PURA hearings are not as formal as a court hearing, the PURA commissioners will conduct the hearing similar to the way a judge does, with commissioners opening the hearing and asking for appearances from all the participants. When this occurs, you will state your name and any organization you might represent. If you are not already at the tables, you will come to this microphone to do so. While you wait to conduct cross-examination, you will sit here with other individuals watching the hearing or technical meeting. When you are called to begin cross-examination, you will take your name placard from here, go to the examiner's table, make sure the microphone is turned on in front of you, and introduce yourself and your affiliation again. There is almost always a court reporter at PURA hearings and technical meetings, so be sure to speak clearly so the reporter may accurately transcribe the cross-examination. Although the hearing room may seem a little intimidating at first, you shouldn't be worried. In most instances, PURA staff or OCC will be the first to engage in each step of the process, so you will have the opportunity to watch others before it is your turn. After the hearings or technical meetings finish, in many dockets, participants have an opportunity to submit briefs. The briefs are written submissions to PURA in which you advocate for your position or the outcome of the proceeding that you want. You cannot address any new issues in a brief. A brief must cover material already discussed in the proceeding and should refer to the interrogatories or individual testimony in the proceeding discussing that topic. There is no set length for a brief. It can be as long or as short as you need to advocate for your position. After everyone submits their briefs, PURA will then issue a decision. If PURA issues a draft decision in the proceeding you engage in, then you may file written exceptions to the draft decision. Written exceptions can be in the form of a letter to PURA, or can be more formal if you prefer, and alert PURA to any mistakes it might have made in the draft decision. You should not re-argue the material you included in your brief in written exceptions. After receiving written exceptions, PURA will issue a final decision in the proceeding. We hope this overview of the process of a docket and the process of a hearing helps you feel more comfortable engaging in a PURA docket. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, and please join us for our next video training.